Scuderia Ferrari has 2 stars for the 2025 Formula One season, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, a problem that many teams would dream of having and one we have already discussed extensively in the past in our videos. Denying it would be an exercise in vanity. Making 2 such exceptional talents coexist will certainly not be an easy task, but Ferrari team principal Frédéric Vasseur, with his pragmatism, seems confident that the benefits of this situation, which has been strongly desired by President John Elkann, will far outweigh the inevitable management complexities that might arise. And quite frankly, we agree. Pairing a phenomenon alongside the Monegasque was the right choice compared to maintaining the status quo. Of course, Ferrari could have continued with Carlos Sainz, which remains a solid, prepared driver of undeniable value. But Lewis Hamilton brings something more to the table. There is no need to beat around the bush. The 7-time Formula One world champion is an extraordinary talent, and acknowledging that the British driver's numbers are in another league takes nothing away from Carlos Sainz's worth. The question that resonates in conversations and glances concerns Lewis Hamilton's true integrity. Just yesterday, in a dedicated video, we highlighted a fact that should reassure Ferrari fans. Lewis Hamilton, on average, has been faster than George Russell during races, a statement that stands above the criticisms. It is true, in terms of qualifying performance, he was not on George Russell's level. But this aspect, while real, has specific reasons. Toward the end of the 2024 Formula One season, when there was no longer any need to protect his former protégé, Andrew Shovlin provided a rational explanation for Lewis Hamilton's Saturday performances. A technical issue related to the brakes significantly limited Lewis Hamilton's performance on single laps. In light of this, Ferrari remains calm about his potential. And then, isn't that dualism that sparks so much debate the essence of every great achievement? Frédéric Vasseur, aiming to prioritize practice over theory, has stated that he will use the situation to push the entire Maranello team to greater heights. Setting aside the considerations outlined in the introduction, an intriguing theme emerges. One of those subtle truths that deserves attention in our opinion. We are talking about a dynamic often underestimated but deeply rooted in the highest category of motorsport. We summarize it in one phrase. The first opponent in Formula One is your teammate. It is an axiom that, beneath the surface, governs the very essence of competition. It's not a marginal issue. On the contrary, it's the guiding light for anyone gripping a steering wheel and racing full speed toward the horizon. Charles Leclerc, Knight of the Prancing Horse, has made a clear statement. He did so by projecting himself into a future where Ferrari can finally provide its drivers with a car capable of competing for the Formula One world title. The Monegasque driver has made it clear that he would never tolerate an internal defeat. His comments on the matter are steeped in candor. I will never find myself in a situation where my teammate is fighting for the championship instead of me. A declaration that exudes determination, reflecting the uncompromising will of a driver who knows no middle ground. Yet the same principle resides in the heart of Lewis Hamilton. He has demonstrated it throughout his brilliant career. Having already navigated that treacherous path in 2016, when Nico Rosberg narrowly beat him to the title, he is certainly not willing to relive that nightmare. Not now, not with the weight of 40 years of experience on his shoulders. However, this remains within the realm of hypothesis for now. Because before such a battle can unfold, it is clear Ferrari must create a car worthy of the ambitions it has fervently fueled. The signs, it seems, are promising. Project 677, the Maranello team's single-seater for the 2025 Formula One Championship, stands as a statement of intent. The final phase of last season showcased a Ferrari that was finally competitive, while Red Bull appears to be faltering under the weight of its own problems. It is a scenario that invites hope. Charles Leclerc will have the advantage of knowing every nuance of the team, every whisper within the walls of the Maranello headquarters. Lewis Hamilton, on the other hand, will have to make the most of his situation, adapting and finding his rhythm in a new symphony, a task not without its challenges. But the 7-time Formula One world champion is not one to be intimidated. The British driver is a man who lives for glory, for the electrifying feeling of being the best. He has not come to Italy to play a supporting role, he is here to win. And although his pockets will be enriched by the imminent collaboration with the Maranello team, his primary target is not wealth, but to enrich his trophy collection. The prospect of a duel between these two titans, each with their ambitions and pride, promises a narrative worth witnessing. Let us hope Ferrari proves equal to the task. While every intra-team rivalry in the 2025 Formula One season promises intrigue, one stands out as the most captivating of all. Ferrari team boss Frédéric Vasseur shares the sentiment of many F1 fans. His squad boasts the most formidable driver pairing on the grid. Charles Leclerc successfully outperformed Carlos Sainz in their 2024 head-to-head, but this year his competition takes on a whole new level of prestige. Lewis Hamilton joins Ferrari with aspirations of surpassing Michael Schumacher's legendary record of 7 World Championship titles, aiming to achieve it with the very team that brought the German icon unparalleled success. Although Lewis Hamilton will soon begin testing Ferrari's machinery, he'll only have a limited 1.5 days of official track time in Bahrain to familiarize himself with the car before the season opener in Australia at the Albert Park circuit. For the 40-year-old, the priority is quickly acclimating to his new environment. He will be working with a fresh team of engineers and mechanics who will primarily communicate in English. Still, the British driver has already begun learning Italian phrases to help bridge potential language gaps. Nevertheless, he faces a clear disadvantage compared to Charles Leclerc, who not only speaks fluent Italian but has also built a strong rapport with the countless individuals within the factory and the garage. Charles Leclerc is widely regarded as one of Formula One's most outstanding qualifiers. And while Lewis Hamilton is undoubtedly aware of his reputation, the 2025 Formula One campaign will offer him the chance to observe up close how Leclerc consistently delivers such remarkable one-lap performances. Although the British driver faced challenges in qualifying during the previous season, his performances in Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi demonstrated that he remains a formidable competitor over an entire race distance. Ferrari will therefore rely on Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc's complementary strengths in the 2025 F1 season. Frédéric Vasseur is likely banking on the synergy between the Monegasque driver's qualifying prowess and Lewis Hamilton's race day consistency to establish Ferrari as the leading contender for the Constructors' Championship. Success, however, will depend on both drivers' willingness to cooperate, a challenge that may be manageable initially. Charles Leclerc has already acknowledged that his relationship with Lewis Hamilton will differ from the dynamic he shared with Carlos Sainz. However, during their 4 seasons as teammates, the Monegasque and the Spaniard rarely found themselves fighting directly for race victories. If Scuderia Ferrari meets its lofty expectations, Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton could find themselves sharing the front row of the grid more frequently than not. It will then fall to the Ferrari team boss to ensure that both drivers remain committed to the Maranello team's objectives rather than prioritizing personal ambitions. This will be no small feat, as racing drivers are inherently trained to adopt a self-centered mindset in pursuit of success. Both Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc, despite their professionalism, are unlikely to abandon this instinct when race wins are on the line.